Hi, Professor. I'll introduce to you about industrialization and the labor movement. Industrialization means symptom that transforms medieval agricultural society to modern industrial society. And variety industries grow because of technological advancement. It also means enlargement and focusing about industrial activity. And it means after medieval, percentage of manufacturing is much higher than agriculture and fishing due to increased productivity. Through division of labor and technological innovation. In other words, this means that the development of groundbreaking technologies for producing power has fundamentally changed the entire human lifestyle, including economic activities. Industrialization began in earnest with the invention of the steam engine by James Watt in 1769. In late 1700s to 1800s, including Britain, Europe, USA, many countries shifted from hand production to machines. During this period, transportation revolutionized. So, steam engines changed, and clothing stuff transformed and made many new and interesting industries, so textile machines changed. Next, fuel and materials provided for industrial boom, so coal and iron industry changed. Plus, people moved cities, so urbanization started to happen. In this period, with the development of steam engines and machine industry, industrial production began to surpass agricultural production, and generally it accompanies social, economical, cultural change. In 18th century, industrialization began in Britain and spread throughout Europe. Thanks to this symptom, accumulation of wealth through mass production became possible and economic growth was achieved through improved productivity and efficiency, and new jobs and works were created. Plus, quality of our lives were more improved. But as the gap between the rich and the poor grew, conflicts and environmental pollution arose. Furthermore, extreme social and cultural changes appealed because of rapid growth. Recently, a deindustrialization phenomenon is occurring by increasing the proportion of high value-added service chain industries. In early industrialization, light industry, development and advancement sector, focusing on daily necessities and living occurred. But as time went on, it led to the development of the petrochemical industry, and more after, the proportion of high value-added service industries increased. History of industrialization is started from background that industrialization occurred focusing on the UK. First, the feudal system collapsed. Second, the economic policy has changed. Third, transportation technology has significantly advanced due to the development of the steel and core industries. As new jobs and works were created, early industrialization laborers worked. long hours with little rest, so they were very exhausted, and laborers received low pay. Then very young children also worked, even in dangerous and poor environments. Plus, accidents, injuries, and health hazards while working were very common. So labor movements started to happen. It began in Europe during the Industrial Revolution. People lost farm and home jobs and moved to factories in cities, and workers joined together to request better pay and conditions. As more workers acted like this occurred, group named labor unions made. This union fought and protested with government to guarantee shorter hours and safer workplaces and fair pay. I think industrialization make convenient and make easy to do factory work and house chores. And I think it's very good and nice to achieve economical growth through efficient government budget using an increasing budget through mass production. But I think it's bad and sad thing that people's thinking and creativity decreases by using machines or electronic devices when you do almost anything. And it's also heartbreaking gap between rich and poor is much higher, so there are poor people who can't even solve food, clothing, and shelter emerge. I feel interesting and surprised when I know industrialization occurred focusing on the UK, and history of industrialization is connected to feudal system collapsing, economic policy changing, and enormous transportation technology advancing. I also feel interesting and surprised when I know many laborers protest and request to find their legitimate right and live better life by receiving fair wages. And I think this symptom is excellent and fortunate.